Hello friends, in this video I am going to be totally redoing my kitchen, reorganizing my kitchen. If you've been a subscriber of mine for a while, you know I have a very small kitchen and I'm always trying to find ways to make it seem bigger, give myself more counter space, all of the above. Haven't been very successful at times, and it's a constant struggle, and that's one of the reasons why my kitchen always looks cluttered. It's because it's so small and I don't have very much counter space. So I was looking for countertop shelving that is specifically like for corners, to put in the corners of my cabinet, countertops, and I found a couple I found one on Amazon, and I bought two of the exact same one. And so today I'm going to put those shelving units together, or else have Olivia do it because she loves doing that kind of thing, and I am not. I don't enjoy trying to put something together unless it's super easy, but she likes putting stuff together. And I'm going to completely take everything off my counters, put these shelves, hopefully they'll fit where I want them. I measured, but that doesn't necessarily mean I measured correctly. And try to reorganize this kitchen. So let me turn the camera around. I'll show you the shelves. They're still in the box, and then I'll show you what the kitchen looks like currently. So you don't really see a whole lot. I mean, this is basically what it's going to look like when they're put together. These are metal legs and then wood shelves or whatever. They're exactly the same, although you can put them together to be like in different shapes. But for now, I think I want them to be in the corners, so like at right angles to each other. Before I do anything, I'm going to have to unload the dishwasher and empty the sinks out. There's always a constant supply of dirty dishes in this sink. So irritating. But what I was thinking about putting one of those shelves in this corner and tidying up. I think it's probably still going to stay my coffee station, but just tidy it up better. And then over here I've got my ice maker out. I need to put that away. I was thinking about putting the other shelf in this corner, so there'll be I know, I'm sorry about the glare from this window, I can't do anything about it. There'll be one on either side of the sink. That's what I'm thinking. Don't know if that will work or not. And then back behind here I've got this Lazy Susan, and I'm thinking about moving that Lazy Susan over to this counter, just putting this little tray away for now. Yeah, and then of course my countertop is constantly in a state of confusion. My fruit bowls are full right now because I just went shopping. So yeah, and I've got my starter going for some tea. It's a tea drink that's in the Timothy Mama book called The Shrinker, and so I was going to make a big batch of it, and this is like super duper strong, and you add some spices and stuff to it, and then ice and water. And so yeah, but I was wanting to make a big jug of it so that I can make my shrinker drink quickly. So I need to take care of that to make myself one of my drinks and put the rest in that container, put it in the fridge. So I guess the first thing I'm going to do is start tackling this countertop, getting it cleaned off. I always feel like I can breathe better when this counter is cleaned off. But let me back up. I don't know if there's any way you're going to be able to tell on camera the scope of what I'm talking about how tiny my kitchen is. It's kind of like a galley style kitchen, and I'm standing back by my dining room table, and there's my refrigerator, dishwasher, sink, stove, and then I call it an island, but it's not really an island. And that's it. That is my kitchen, and it's tiny. And I don't know why that drawer's hanging open. That's the other thing. Constant dishes in the sink, constantly having drawers and doors hanging open in this kitchen. I don't know who does it, but it's annoying. All right, let me get busy. To make the shrinker, I'm not going to give you the exact recipe because I think it's kind of against copyright policy or whatever for the shrinker for Trim Healthy Mama. So in this container I have my stevia blend, cinnamon, a pinch of cayenne pepper, a little bit of vanilla powder, and a pinch of mineral salt. And then to this I'm going to add 1.5 cups of my concentrate here. So here's 1/2 cup. And then I'll add another cup. And I don't know if I told you, this is a combination of black tea and oolong tea. Then you can put this in a blender and do it, or I'm just going to use my stick blender, and you want to kind of just blend this up really well. And then to this, you can add almond milk or whatever you want. If you don't have to, stay away from dairy, you can put a little splash of half and half or anything you want in there. But I'm going to put a splash of my vanilla nut pods. And then you whiz it up again. And if it doesn't look like the right color to you, you can add a little bit more creamer. I don't measure it, I just dump. But I kind of know the color that I like, if that makes sense. So then when it's all combined, I had a little bit of trouble getting the cinnamon to break up. It finally is now. Once it's all combined and mixed well, then you dump it into a quart jar, mason jar, or any other container that you have that will hold a quart of liquid. I'm going to use my canning funnel to make sure I don't make a huge mess. I might anyway. I'm terrible at making messes. And then you fill this up with ice and top it off with a little bit more water. Ollie loves ice. You want this? And here it is, ready to enjoy. Keep me nice and hydrated and give me energy to get this kitchen cleaned up. I think one of the reasons why I got that sinus infection is because the air in my house is so dry. So I bought this humidifier off of Amazon, and I really like it. It seems to be helping a lot. A couple of weeks ago, our dishwasher died, so we ended up having to get a new one. And it's okay. It's got a dark, like gray interior instead of a white interior. But other than that, it basically works the same as our old one. And hopefully we'll get more use out of, more years out of this one. Our last one was only 4 years old. I think we got it in 2017. So yeah, and we're not even hard on them. It's not like we have this huge family that we have to run multiple loads of dishes a day. But for some reason, dishwashers just don't last. See if I can figure out how to put this together. Hopefully if it's easy, I mean fairly easy, I could figure it out, but we'll see. We will see. We have to get Olivia in here. Alright, so here's the color of the wood. Here are the legs and the pieces and the instruction booklet. So I looked at the instructions and it doesn't look like it's going to be terribly difficult. I don't think it even requires a tool. So I'm going to give it a shot because Olivia's still in bed. And when I said something to her, she just grunted at me. So I'll try, and if I get totally frustrated, I'll turn it over to her. I'll just have to wait until she gets up. I had to go down and look on Amazon to see what it looks like when this is on here. And it's supposed to be like this. So, because it was so confusing looking at it upside down on the instructions. It goes like that. So I guess I am going to need a tool. These tiny little screws. They're going to be fun to get put in there. I don't even think I have a screwdriver that small. I guess I have one for fixing eyeglasses that I could probably use. This is where I'm going to need Olivia because she's got such small fingers and more dexterous than I am. Dexterous? What is it? I don't know. I can't pronounce the word. She has more dexterity. Put it that way than I do. So yeah, I'm going to get Olivia to put these little screws in because I'll just get frustrated. Well, I wondered why that was blue and the one in the picture on the internet was silver, and it was because it had this blue protective film on it, and I didn't see that part of the instructions till after we got it put on the shelf, and I'm not going to make Olivia take it off. So I peeled it off as best I can. You can't really see it. And for the second shelf, I'll make sure we peel that off before we put it on the shelf. Okay, so it's put together, and the deal is you can turn it and make it any shape you want, and then once you get it in the shape you want it, I think you tighten it a little bit more, or maybe it just will stay kind of more, you know, wiggly. I don't know. Anyway, it's put together. I'm going to see if it'll fit in the spot where I want it. All right, so it kind of looks like it's going to fit where I wanted it. And it doesn't block the light switch, which is good. Okay, now just a matter of figuring out if this is actually going to be beneficial in saving space, or if it's just going to be more clutter. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm on to plan B because I did not think that that shelving unit there was going to make it any less cluttered. I thought it was going to just add to the clutter and make it more difficult. So I just went ahead and put it back the way it was, kind of. I put both coffee pots and our teapot there, and I took the coconut sugar out because I hardly ever use that, and I'm going to put it down with my baking supplies. So now the only thing up there is stevia, which I use, and then regular sugar, which the rest of the family uses. Olivia got the second one put together for me. So I'm going to clear this counter off and see if it'll fit there. I have a feeling it's not going to fit there. And if it doesn't, I'll have to go to plan B for that as well. But I'm very happy with the way that turned out. That is really cool. I think it makes it look bigger, more organized, less cluttered. Now if the family just keeps it that way, that'll be the key. It fits, I can't believe it. But I think I'm going to flip it around the other way so these hooks are facing this end. So let me turn it. Well, it won't fit the other way. It's a little bit, just a little bit longer this way than it is this way, so it won't fit spun around, but that's okay. I'll make this work. I'm just excited that it fits. So I tried it many different ways in this corner, and much like this corner, it just didn't work. I think because these are really small spaces anyway, that counter and that counter, it just made it look more cluttered rather than more organized. So as you see, I moved what was here on my island over there. Got the spices and my fruit, and I did leave my little gadget holder here, and I moved the shelving unit here, and like I said, you could make it any design you wanted, any shape, and so it fit perfectly along that back wall, and I was able to completely organize things, get a lot of junk off the counter, and make it much more streamlined. So yeah, I'm very happy with the way these shelving units turned out. I will put the link for them in Amazon, the Amazon link down in my description box if you're interested in purchasing some of these corner shelves, or not necessarily a corner shelf. So in this corner I have basically everything that was on this counter before, but just in a more organized way. And because I don't have that Lazy Susan there anymore, I do have more counter space here. But this is the salt and pepper that Scott uses every day when he does his eggs for breakfast, and this is the salt I use for baking and whatnot. I've got my stevia, my little individual stevia packets in there, and some coconut sugar there. And then here's the oils and vinegars that Olivia uses quite often to cook. And then down here we have more like the ghee. This is canola oil, which we don't use often, mainly for making popcorn. And then I just stuck a couple of my little coconut waters under there. And then this utensil thing with the small, mostly serving spoons in it. And then my knife block, my blender, and then these are my cooking utensils. Then over here on this side, I just have my spices and my fruit bowl and two-tiered tray that I use for fruit, and then my other little straws and spatulas and things. And then over here I have my Pioneer Woman, those dogs, they're, excuse the barking, I can't do anything about it. My Pioneer Woman measuring spoons, tablespoon, teaspoon, half teaspoon, fourth of a teaspoon. Let me see if I can get those dogs to hush. And then up here I have my stevia syrup. This does not need to be kept in the refrigerator. And then some honey, my measuring cups, my Pioneer Woman measuring cups. Then down here I have my Pioneer Woman water bottle that I use for my lunch at work quite often. And then in this measuring cup I have my immersion blender, because I've been using it almost every day to make sippers for Trim Healthy Mama, my drink that I showed you at the beginning of this video. So we can use this measuring cup to actually measure as well, but that's a nice way to keep my immersion blender out and contained. Then over here we've got our vitamin C packets, I stuck my lamp up here, and then I put my mother's Betty Crocker cookbook over there in that corner, and then underneath here are the prunes. And so before I had all that stuff in my fruit bowl and all that stuff here on this counter, so it's so nice to have that counter cleaned off. All right, friends, that is my organize and declutter with me video for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that my new organizing situation in my kitchen is going to help keep the clutter contained. That is my biggest goal, is to make more room and to keep the clutter contained. And so far, I think it's going to work as long as the whole family is on the same page and puts things back where they belong. Olivia and I are the main ones that cook, obviously, so I don't think it's going to be a problem with us. It's going to be the men folk in the family. So Travis does the dishes and he puts things away. I don't even know how or why he puts things the way he does, but he does. And I'm constantly having to try to find stuff that I know I have, but aren't where they're supposed to be. So maybe this will help him as well. All right, friends, thanks so much for watching, and we will talk to you later. Bye-bye.